I would try to go back to the critical theory of governance and say that women would talk about very grassroots happening, possibility, something which can be done without using big jargons, without using big statistics, without using big models which you yourself don't understand. They have just been coming from places outside the country, mostly Western countries, and then they are remodeled, camouflaged, to look as if they belong to you. They are sold off to our disaster agencies, and then they are asked to be worked upon. And then they collapse. This has happened with the e-governance programs. This is likely to happen with the disaster mitigation programs. Over here, in the whole group that spoke, I think the essence of the whole information, motivation, and the direction to disaster risk reduction and mitigation has come from no other but a woman, that is Anju Sharma, who is the CEO of Gujarat State Disaster Management Agency. Please give her a big hand. This is what Jawaharlal Nehru University has been trying to do for the last 3 years. We have even abundant air-conditioned rooms for our conferences. We have tried to go to the communities. And in doing this, we are very happy that NAPSIPAC scholars have always been with us. They come from Bangladesh, they come from Pakistan, and in Action Aid, which has worked very closely with us, let me share that the Bangladesh Farha Kabir, who has been with us in a lot of discussion on disaster law, which is a very new area, and Shandana Khan from Pakistan, who actually focuses all her work on rural development, because she is working on rural communities that Anju Sharma has just spoken about. These are the communities which are going to be the harbingers and the lighthouses in the whole of the disaster program. Definitely, the uniformed classes will occupy larger spaces, because the whole world of governance is a process of the consistent development of masculinity. And if we actually try to go to the basics of governance, this whole process of masculinity builds up into religion, builds up into safety and security arrangements. It gives more importance to the security of the citizen and to the issues of citizenship, rather than mitigating and training at the grassroots level, which are the basic communities. Now, how it comes down and how it reaches upwards has also been very nicely explained by Anju Sharma. I'm sorry I'm naming you too much here in my talk, because I was supposed to talk something else, but this is actually, I want to re-emphasize that this should be the platform of further governance. Now, humanity does not have a second chance. If we give all these statistics, what is the use? Have we ever asked ourselves? People repeatedly come and give statistics. People repeatedly come on the number of homeless. It's kind of sensationalizing disaster. Aren't we doing it? We are sensationalizing disaster. Only those who are seeking funds would sensationalize disaster. Now, and you know, the one who would actually go down and prefer to work would be people who would talk about communities and the whole developmental process. Now, what is it at the level of communities that we can do? I'll expand from where she ended. The most important thing is capacity enhancement. And capacity enhancement is possible only when the officers at the higher level spare some time and spend it with the communities. This is true for district administration. This is true for the police officers. This is true for judicial officers. And this is equally true for the academia which is working in the neighborhood on higher education. How much time at this level do these officers have to spend their time with the communities? SHO, SIs, head constables, how much time do they have? So what if the commissioner of police in a district has all the good talk about disaster management? What we need is the ASIs, SHOs, and head constables who should be communicating with people. Number 2, district administration. We have, in the last 10 years, seen that district administration is splitting. You know, the way the new agencies have been coming up, it's a whole process of agencification which has taken place. One district collector's office now is split into almost 7 to 8 offices. The process of development has gone like this, like a firecracker. And the process of accountability and transparency has also been scattered. If you actually look at the whole domain from the top, you would not know who is supposed to be caught at the time of a disaster. Now, in such a scenario, what is it that you can do? At such a scenario, the district magistrate should definitely appoint a team, a more interdisciplinary team composing of the local people, academia, school teachers, principals, and say that this is mandatory, what you should do at this point. There is a deadline for this, there is this fund which is available, go down and work. At Jawaharlal Nehru University, we have just started experimenting on creating a cluster of colleges. We've made Lady Shri Ram College as the key cluster head to integrate. 4 other colleges have been brought together, and I hope I'm sharing this experiment with you so that you can replicate at wherever you are. And this means that the district magistrate should take a proactive stand on creating clusters. When you create clusters, you involve NSS, NCC, and other groups in the colleges to go around and do the neighborhood mapping. When they do the neighborhood mapping, they come back with information and say that the GIS map prohibits construction in this particular area. There is an aquifer right below the college, but it is all blocked. There is this ground that should not have been allocated for a builder, but the minister has allocated it to the builder. So the whole aquifer gets blocked, and we might have floods like Chennai. So how do you stop it? It doesn't get stopped unless all these agencies are involved, and of course the community is empowered to take a decision. And again, in creating a cluster, we come back to the communities. When students go down to them, they communicate openly with the students, and then in the process they get capacity enhanced. Capacity enhancement does not come with training programs, it comes with talking. We need to talk in a very classless manner. We have to shed the arrogance of positions and status, go down to the people, communicate with them, bring them on in your activity, and then help them to participate in the law-making process. The last that I have to say is law. The law has a lot to do. And the disaster law is again a new venture that we have arrived at, and we are supported very well in this by another agency, which is an international organization, Red Cross Society, where they have been working with people, and they know that humanitarian action begins much before the disaster. It doesn't come with the disaster that you have ambulances, hospitals, good police, sensitive administration. It comes much before that. And that much before that is the process of law that would likely to empower the local authorities to take a stand, take a decision, and also impose penalties who do not do. The center will have little more power in not allocating funds for disaster management to states which do not act in this direction. And so definitely the full-fledged multi-level governance program would be enhanced. One last point, or last point, as most of my colleagues have been saying, and we have repeatedly ended with this note in all the conferences, that how do you kill the disasters within your own minds? Human beings, you do whatever. You know, there are large number of corruption prevention agencies. We have CVC. In fact, in the whole of the Asia Pacific, India has the best platform for disaster prevention. Corruption prevention. We have 1988 Act on corruption prevention. We have huge penalties, but the conviction rate is as low as 3%. If the conviction rate is as low as 3%, which is even lower than the rape conviction, if this is the status of allowing corruption to go on, we are all participating in the process of disasters. So we need to have laws where communities are empowered to prevent corruption at the grassroots level. How do we restructure it, and how do we bring down these big corruption prevention bodies from the suns and the moons down to people is, of course, something for which we need committees to sit together and deliberate. And that is the level where it would be more appropriate to share much of the statistics and models that we have shared in most of the conferences. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Amita Singh, for challenging us to shed, our positions and our, prestige and all of that, and to go down to the community level, understand issues at the local level, not use data to sensationalize disaster risk issues, but really work with communities, build on their initiatives, build on their capacities and enhance those. And also the point you made about taking integrated approaches as opposed to agentsification of issues. So there's a lot to reflect on in what you said. So thank you very much. There couldn't have been a better note to end this session on. We have been talking about global processes, but ultimately rubber hits the ground at the local level. If it doesn't all come together at that level, then all of this, the global conferences, national conferences, state conferences have no meaning. So thank you very much for helping us end on this note and really keeping in focus what in the end matters. So with that, I close this session. We are already more than 1 hour behind schedule. So I will not open the floor for question and discussion, but we have a coffee break and you have the opportunity to interact with the panelists as well as among yourselves. Thank you very much.
We have the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister and Minister of Home and Disaster Management, also Chairman of the Steering Committee of the 2nd WCDM, Mr. Shri Chinna Rajappa Garu. He will now give away the mementos to the speakers of the previous plenary session. I will call them on stage. Along with Shri Chinna Rajappa Garu, I also invite Honorable Shri Ganna Babu Garu, MLA. Could Shri Ganna Babu Garu join us on stage, please? Thank you. I request the speakers of the previous plenary session, Shri Harjeet Singh, Action Aid, Ms. Anju Sharma, CEO, GSDMA, Professor Amita Singh, JNU, Dr. Yuvraj, Collector, Vishakhapatnam, Shri Amit Garg, Police Commissioner, Vishakhapatnam, Shri Jagishwar Gobardhan, High Commissioner of Mauritius. I request all of you to come on stage as Shri Chinna Rajappa Garu and Shri Ganna Babu Garu would like to give you your mementos. The first memento goes to Shri Harjeet Singh from Action Aid. The next memento goes to Ms. Anju Sharma, CEO, GSDMA. Shri Jagishwar Gobardhan, High Commissioner of Mauritius. Shri Kamal Kishore ji, NDMA. who's receiving his first memento for the day, and Professor Amita Singh from the JNU, NAPSI tag.
This is easy. They've got a turban. We don't have to know what's going on under that turban. Just proceed with the story.
Thank you very much, Honorable MLA and Deputy Chief Minister Garu, for giving away the mementos.